Hello, Steve here. Welcome to Real Health. Who'd have thought health is about what we're eating? Join me on my quest to disseminate my go-to health regimen, the Health 44, my clumsy branding of eliminating 4 classes of food, introducing 4 classes of micronutrients. Bingo, bongo, health sorted. So thank you for your interest. Let's do this. Welcome again. Who'd have thought that health is about what we're eating, not about eat less and then exercise more. If you eat even less, you get even less micronutrients in your physiology, and then you'll still die at 75. We're capable of living 120 plus. Let's do this. So you clicked on today. Maybe you're thinking, oh yeah, I see. A bit of clickbait. GMO foods is good. Well, GMO foods are good. What's wrong with GMO foods? Oh, not really sure, are you? Oh, even if you say, goes to the processed foods, well, that's processed foods. We can ultra process our foods even if they aren't GMO. And it makes the food lesser quality. No. If the farmer is producing more bushels and tonnage per dollar that they put in, and you only pay the $3 a kilo for apples and whatever the rates are with your particular produce, well, that's a good thing. We're not understanding GMO because it's genetically modified. It doesn't mean that the food is inferior. If you're still getting those bushels and tonnages, and you're still only paying so much, like relatively speaking, where food is it hasn't ever been as cheap as it is even today with inflation. And the reason why I'm suggesting that GMO is nothing to worry about is because genetic research, genetic therapy that we're aiming towards in our own physiology and our animal kingdom as well, not as much. The veterinarians have got their birth defects and illnesses sorted. There's essentially no birth defects in our producing animals because veterinary science is very prophylactic in their approach. They can't take they're producing their the lead bull that's got some cardiac issues and just broke a leg. Where's that gun? They're not just that $1,000 bull. You're not going to spend $1,000 for the cardiologist appointment. So they are proactive because of finances, because of the economics of producing animals. But humans have antibiotics, hydrocortisone, and insurance, which are quite sudden bursts of improvement in our health. Therefore, we think that modern day mainstream healthcare complex is superior because things are sorted with the antibiotics and the hydrocortisone injections, creams, treatments. Yes, but they're just masking symptoms. Oh, how about the PPIs and the Tums and the anti-indigestion medication? Okay, it keeps my acid down. Well, keeps your acid down so much that you haven't got much acid in your gastric juices, and you don't digest your food, and you're still stuffed in a decade. You're still, if you're on PPIs, if you have those anti-indigestion medications, within a decade, you'll just add on top more pills and more pills because we'll get more conditions that will send us to our early grave. because it's all about micronutrient deficiencies, and your PPIs, your anti-indigestion medication, will add to that. It will hasten your death, will hasten your conditions, and then death. It'll even make you more obese. That was my issue. So the reason why I'm saying that GMO is less of an evil, the least dirty shirt in that dirty shirt hamper, is because genetics has nothing to do with quality of food, nutrition of our food, and longevity. You heard it right. The reason why we're suggesting that GMO foods are inferior and not good for our health is because we think that genetics is leading to our modern day illnesses, our obesity, our metabolic syndrome complex, the whole blood pressure, diabetes, cholesterol complex, cancers, cardiac, dementia, Alzheimer's. It's not genetic. Why wasn't it genetic half a century ago, 5 centuries ago? Oh, we didn't know about it. And there's the kicker. We didn't have genetically modified foods half a century ago. Well, in a way we did. And 5 centuries ago, certainly not. But 3 centuries ago, we upped the ante in our production, and that's why we actually ended up with the Industrial Revolution, because we increased the yield of our crops like 1,000% over a short time. So that was the first revolution, was the agricultural revolution, well, as in industrial type revolutions. So GMO foods aren't an issue because genetics in our physiology aren't an issue. No. Oh, but it runs in my family. Yeah, that's why we think it's genetic. That's why we think that obesity is genetic, because we eat the same shite. It's not just eating the same shite. It is our family's ability, our proclivity, our gluten sensitivity for starters, which damages the villi in our small intestine more than others. It's our crappy food, our drinking, our smoking, which is downstream from cravings and micronutrient deficiencies, which is called pica. And the reason why GMO isn't an issue is because it is not an issue in us, all vertebrates either. Further, if the farmer has to do the whole Monsanto thing, get those particular seeds to be to take on that particular pesticide, and then therefore to create those extra poundages per field of crops. Well, why not? If that means meeting the market price, I don't blame the farmer for using GMO. The organic farmer probably isn't making much coin, because let's face it, by going organic, or close as possible to organic, brings us back 300 years. Well, no, let's just say 100 years before NPK. And the reason we have that extra production that we have at the moment is not really GMO foods, it's the fertilizer complex. And fertilizer adds to our the nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. Potassium, what is it? NPK, nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium. That's all it takes to make crops just go whooshka, to grow the best they can, the best that we've witnessed in the last ever. But as vertebrates, we need 60 of those minerals. We need a further 57 to make us work better, to make us blossom and whatnot. We talk about electrolytes for athletes and whatnot, and just add your electrolytes. You've been sweating, you got cramps, you got heat stroke, whatever, which is basically a depletion of minerals. And even though, again, these real big tomatoes as a organic farmer or the GMO farmer, but the taste is that's a bit of a BS. Do you think that we used to get massive tomatoes that tasted like they do now before? No, no. Oh yeah, I'll have some. It's pleasant on a sandwich and whatnot. Don't tell me that the farming market, the organic farmers market tomato, is that much more tastier than the tomato, the GMO tomato, the $3 kilo tomato versus the $10 kilo. I don't know if organic tomatoes cost that much, but they do cost more. It's a nightshade, and people also fixate on nightshades that they're not good for your health. Yeah. That's also a 1%er. But the 99%er is the micronutrients. So if you're fixated on just on taste, but it's much better taste from the organic crowd. Your fixation on avoiding GMO might be making you just like it, and it doesn't add to your health. The pesticides. That's in the whole toxin exposure complex, which is mold on probably this wall here. If you're in Australia or many parts of the world where you have that modern drywall, we call it gyprock here. It's very mold infested. It's very mold. Gimme mold. What's the word? It attracts mold. It retains mold. So that's the whole toxin exposure complex when it comes to pesticide sprays. That is maybe a 1%er, let's say 2%er. Where's mold? Some will say 100%. I won't go more than 5%. But the 90%er plus is the micronutrients. It's the micronutrients. So stop fixating on GMOs are causing us to become more ill in this modern era. Therefore, we have to exercise more and eat less. That means you're getting even less micronutrients, even greater depletion in your own micronutrients absorption, and then you'll be in the same boat. You might be looking okay, doing okay, if you've just lost 20 pounds, 50 pounds and beyond. But by getting even less micronutrients on board, even if you are supplementing, because let's face it, much supplementing efficacy won't be that great if you are still eating gluten, sugars, nitrates, and oils for overall health. You won't be absorbing it. And we've heard the stories of porta potty workers where they clean out the porta potties and they see all those vitamin pills still in people's waste. We're not digesting. We have a salt deficiency as well. The salt, it's not good for blood pressure, therefore it kills you. We need more salt. It's a bit complex how sodium levels work with cardiac issues and that sort of thing. it's too complex. We still don't understand all the functions, the processes that keep us alive, even though we've made maybe some good progress in understanding. But usually when we make progress and get understanding in a few things, usually it leads us up the stupid wrong garden paths. Examples: cholesterol. The mainstream is starting to understand, subscribe to that cholesterol is very essential, particularly for brain and hormone health. But most other, it's essential. And the reason why there's 90 declared essential micronutrients is because we can't make them. To get the vitamin D, yes, you can get it from the sun, but if you don't have the processes, it's not converting to vitamin D. So you need the minerals to make it convert, and you probably need more vitamin D from your food as well. And yes, you can get it from a carnivore diet. I'm not a carnivore. I'm more like a very heavy keto. But you can be okay under a vegan diet. But there's a few limitations with the vegans because, let's face it, most of their calories that they're just searching for are sugars and oils, and that adds to the whole bad cholesterol numbers complex. And there's no real evidence that vegans are living longer. Oh, but the vegan society did it, blue zone, did it. But how about the other blue zones, which are all saturated fat eaters? It's complicated, you see. Yes, the Hunzers, the Mediterraneans. But they don't eat much meat. Yes, they do. Most of the skewing of the Mediterranean diet people is the Sardinians, which are very much so carnivorous and dairy populace. So GMO, don't worry. Don't worry about GMO because it's not about genetics. It's not about our genes that is impacting our health. It's the lack of micronutrients that we're digesting and we're not absorbing enough of, and not enough daily supply for the rest of our life. That's where the crux of our health is. Forget GMO and the whole other processed foods, the seed oils and all the rest of it complex, and the toxins and the mold and the microbiome that people talk about. It's the micronutrients. And this is where I'll try and sum up with the Health 44. How do you get out of this? Do the Health 44, the micronutrients. So here's the first four of the 44. 90+% of the supermarket eliminated. We need to eliminate glutens, oils, sugars, nitrates. There's a few nuances in there, particularly with the oils. No oils in a bottle. No fried food or burnt animal fat. Don't cook your meat more than medium rare, as that red meat example. With the gluten, it's wheat, barley, rye, and oats. A Google search some time back, I saw that gluten was classified as wheat, barley, rye. Take out the oats, maybe even the buckwheat, and maybe even reduce your overall grain intake. And the nitrates, just take out your bacon. If you're a carnivore, just take out your bacon, unless you get nitrate-free bacon, which I haven't found. And if I do find it, don't make your bacon crispy. Yeah, okay. So they're a couple of the nuances. Increase your salt intake. Increase your salt intake to digest better. We need to supplement these days. It's a must because we're not getting dependable amounts of micronutrients in our physiology. So we need to supplement. I go through Youngevity. You can search for alternatives, but Youngevity is on this whole understanding of 90 declared essential micronutrients. No, they're not. They're not declared. It's not. If I do a search, there's only, say, 27 or 40 essential micronutrients. No, there's 90. There's 90. So yeah, so that's the first 4 of the 44. No gluten, oils, sugars, nitrates, nitrites, and add the next 4 of the 44 is adding those 4 classes of micronutrients: the 60 minerals, 16 vitamins, 12 amino acids, 2 essential fatty acids, the ones that we require daily, dependable amounts for the rest of our life, and then the illnesses, the longevity, the health and fitness will continue for longer. I had a late start. I'm only approaching year 5, but I'm in year 4, and I haven't looked back. I don't crave the pizza and the ice cream and the cookies and the whole junk food complex because I'm satiated. The reason why we're craving these particular foods, here's the tell. If a pregnant lady is craving orange juice or gherkins or pickles, that's very high up on the micronutrient deficiency craving complex. If you're wanting that, ice cream and orange juice, gherkins, yeah, baby is taking a lot of your nutrients, and a lot of the health birth defects that do happen are micronutrient deficiency issues. Once there is a birth defect, you can't cure a particular condition. You can lessen it. You can very much lessen it. You can, in your 3 month, is it 3 months? In your 3 or 4 month scan, where if your baby is going to be Down syndrome, you can lessen the impact of Down syndrome by just going in heavy with the micronutrients, and you won't tell that much that they're Down syndrome, but the damage is done at a particular point in the pregnancy. What's that? Is it the 3rd week or something where you go from a disc to a tube? Anyway, it's been a while since I've gone down that rabbit hole, but that's where it's at with birth defects as well. Okay, and what will make us live longer is micronutrient deficiencies being addressed. And if you do the Health 44, you'll be on the best slate, the best clean slate that we have available to us. Until something else comes along. Oh yes, there's plenty of things coming along. Oh, genetics and this pill. Shut up. The reason why GMO is becoming an issue that we're fixating on is because we think that genes are those bad genes we're getting, gene expression, a way to get out of our genetic and family history is the expression of the genes because of the seed oil, this and that. Very talented reasoning there. Sorry, it's all wrong. Okay, so there's the case for GMO is all good because it's all about the minerals that are getting into the food. Okay, that's why I say GMO is okay. If GMO reduces the price of my food even more, good. Bring on GMO. I won't get too much GMO because I'm very meat, egg, and dairy heavy. So I'm not getting much GMO anyway. But if you're a vegan, don't worry. Just do GMO. It's not. No, the food isn't your nightmare. It's the lack of micronutrients which is your nightmare, and that feels like the wrap for today. Don't worry, okay, about GMO. Look up, listen, and read more of what I do about the micronutrients. There's very few others. There's at least one other chap which is doing much better than me in presentation and preparation, especially. But at least I've got the evangelist type approach. Do it. It saved my fucking life. And yeah, thanks for your interest. Hopefully you'll be back next time. See you later.